So I've got some topics to cover today concerning compassionate care and medical cannabis. We have a 5% coalition, as we spoke of in the last show, about we want 5% of all medicine sold in dispensaries, and this is a uniform policy statewide to be given away to poor patients and veterans in San Francisco. We want this to be statewide. And we've got other patients groups wanting to do the same thing in their own way without consulting us, and that's, well, we'll see how that goes. We hope that we can all work together. That's the main thing. We should all really work together on this, since we all have an interest in it. And the GOP and the libertarians, I'm not going to call them reptilian brain stems, but they don't really know our issues as well. It seems like they just have to familiarize themselves with our issues. So that's what this show's about too. We want, because healthcare really should be mandated. It shouldn't be like someone's decision whether you feel good today or not. It shouldn't be someone else's decision, and it should be you should be free to. It frees people up if you're you don't have to worry about your health care.
It starts with insurance companies.
Insurance companies,
Mm-hmm.
Universal health care, we need that, one single payer. So I really like...
Non-profit health companies are making money off of people, such as Blue Shield, buying a box at the Levi Stadium, refusing to let their patients actually utilize it. It's like, hey, our money's going for this. Why you got a box here? You're supposed to be a non-profit.
So
you're hurting the patients.
Obamacare, or the Affordable Care Act, is actually for the companies to make money, insurance companies. That was their little sweetheart bill through the GOP and Mitt Romney and the Heritage Foundation. That's their original bill. So, and they, as long as Obama had anything to do with it, they didn't like it. So it's just the way it is. It just depends on who you talk to. And also, not to change the subject too far, but the 3rd anniversary, I'm going to mention this a few times, of Occupy, 4 to 6 p.m., September 20th, Justin Herman or Chelsea Manning Plaza, on Saturday, September 20th. And if you followed Occupy, it was crushed by the FBI, but they're still doing plenty. The 99% Coalition, which is on Twitter, and I think I'm going to go to my Twitter feed now to get you to follow them as well, and maybe have some say at their meetings, because their meetings are $2, and they really have a lot to offer in the way of knowledge. So here we go. Now we're going to talk about the 5% Coalition in a little while. But SanFranciscoCompassion.org, they don't want our input, so we would like to have their input. And our staying power does come from 10 years of good work in the community, and we aren't going to be discouraged in any way. 20 medical studies that show cannabis can cure cancer. That includes brain cancer, breast cancer, prostate. So more and more studies in the favor. And this is from Aussies, from Australia. This is one of their little memes that I had. I'm not really going to go off on that one. Activists feds still claim cannabis has no medicinal value. In fact, they want to legalize CBD only, which is really not. CBD doesn't work without a tiny trace of THC.
Well, the federal government still does own the patent for cannabis.
Yes, even though they don't want anyone to have any. And so the fastest growing population of cannabis users in America are...
Not the youth.
The elderly. Makes perfect sense.
Really? Wait, are you trying to tell me that kids are not the rising population of cannabis users?
Well, we got the baby boomers. They're all turning 50. My generation, there's a lot of us. That's when you had the biggest growth of population in the 20th century was in between 46 and 64. And we're becoming over 50 now, and we need this stuff. So the leading tech investors warn of the bubble risk, unprecedented since 1999. That means that the money is going in, but they're investing, but they're not really having returns on equal returns on their investment. So we'll have to watch that. That's a good article. Robert Reich, I'm a fan of his. 7 biggest economic lies. Of course, this is the Occupy movement.
I remember him, the Mr.
Yes.
Koch brothers, you need to actually start investing into the poor.
Yeah,
I remember
Robert
him.
Reich. Yep, and 66 million of us will be stacked and packed into Agenda 21 existence under martial law enforced by the U.S. Army. And I unfortunately couldn't access the article because it's a video, an audio article, and my computer doesn't have audio at the moment. But if you do watch it, please tell me how it was, and I'll try to get my thing fixed so I can listen to it. The NSA has a plan to map the entire internet. It's called the Treasure Map. So that just made all sorts of shingles go down my spine. It's just creepy. Occupy Convergence, Saturday, September 20th, 4 to 8 p.m. Remember, just Chelsea Manning. I'll tell you again at the end of the show. I want everyone to go. Don't forget to join, well, that's in Ferguson. I retweet them a lot. Spain study confirms cannabis oil cures cancer. That's more confirmation. And a celebration of subversive books, Howard Zinn Book Fair, November 11th, 2014. It's at San Francisco Mission High School, and there's a lot of good things happening. Go to that website. Okay, that's Hollywood stuff I don't even want to talk about. So, CBD only legislation. THC kills disease, and CBD regenerates. They work together, not separately. So, hashtag no more dumb laws. And telling a friend that the weather is nice in California has become an invalid statement.
Says who?
Well, because we've had about 350 nice days. Well, maybe not, I mean, it hasn't rained.
Southern California has any severe drought and heat wave.
Yeah, well, they had a lot of rain in the south more than we had. And how to run a world... Oh, Al Franken. I love Al Franken. He dropped...
Senator Franklin.
Yes.
Franklin.
Al Franken dropped a truth bomb. Well, I think of him as a comedian first. On the Senate. Citizens United is money laundering. Well...
I also think Amiano was a comedian first.
How to run the world post-apocalypse in 10 easy steps, including a world court and 500 million humans maximum. That's the Georgia Guidestones. It's fascinating. And more Americans were shot by toddlers than terrorists. So, yeah, and they're so, let's declare a war on toddlers. Let's declare a war on farmers' market. We'll have some more of them. Activists victorious in rescinding Ellis Act evictions of teacher and other tenants, and David Campos was on hand for that. Were you there?
I was not available to be there, but I remember David telling me about this.
SFLiberalBuzz, and that was our last show. So I think I'm to the end of my feed, so I'm going to switch you over to Eli. He's got his...
I only got a few things to talk about.
Well,
So, speaking of cannabis here, did you know that Peyton Manning here, he basically infers that pizza business is good in Colorado due to legalization of cannabis.
Woohoo!
Yes, that means stoners do get munchies. As Willie Brown would say, stoners get munchies.
Oh, they get the munchies. They support the restaurant businesses around wherever there's a dispensary.
Exactly. In case anybody is interested, the No on Prop L campaign kickoff is September 22nd at 5:30 p.m. at the Orbit Room Cafe, 1900 Market Street.
And tell the viewers what Prop L is.
I thought you were more versatile than I am in Prop L. I'm not exactly that versatile in Prop L.
Okay.
I
know J and G and A and I. I is no. I would vote no on I. That's just me. I shouldn't say that. But
yeah, I'm not totally versatile in Prop L. I just know that it hurts the poor community. So that's why I'm letting people know, like, hey, anything that hurts the poor and the vulnerable, I'm going to tweet about it. So, no on Prop L. Let's see. 6 months of marijuana sales. Positive trends emerge in Colorado. Good news and important statistics. I cannot even talk this evening. And I just want to highlight a few things here. According to the Uniform Crime Reporting data for Denver, there has been a 10.1% decrease in overall crime from this time last year, and a 5.2% drop in violent crime.
well,
The state has also generated or garnered over $10 million in taxes from retail sales in only the first 4 months.
it's amazing.
I know. California needs to get on the bandwagon.
The herb is amazing in every way.
Or the pot wagon, as people call it. Little sciencing, in case anyone wants to know about curiosity, it's still moving and moving and moving.
Oh, that's a pretty picture.
Yes, this is a pulse with Death Star powers, intense gamma rays. the SETI Institutes. Very sciencey stuff. I'm still a geek and a nerd here. And yes, I will mention this because it is very important. If anybody's unaware, Scotland is voting today.
Yes, and their votes will be, when we wake up, we'll know whether they're independent or whether they stay with the UK.
Their election stating they will know by early breakfast, which is about 10 p.m. our time.
So the United Kingdom won't be so united, perhaps.
Exactly. Over 260 years ago, America said, yes, independence. 307 years ago. Okay, I'm bad at math here.
No.
When will Scotland say yes? Come on, it's about time. No more British rule. That's why we had a tea party.
And we dumped the tea in the bay, in the harbor. This stuff smells like tea. It might as well be. They want to tax it and take it away from us and monopolize it. It's the same thing.
And there's one other thing I wanted to
Human nature hasn't changed. We're still a bunch of reptilian brain stems. We have to progress beyond that.
There's one other thing I didn't mention here. I didn't get a chance to tweet.
Okay.
There's a service here that's found in San Francisco called Uber. Uber services. It's a car riding share services.
Yeah, I heard of it.
Germany banned it. Then the German court decided to uphold it and say, hey, Uber can run because we don't want any monopolies in this country. That's why the taxi drivers are saying, hey, we ban Uber, ban rideshare and all the other rideshare programs.
Mustache rides.
They want to have a monopoly in this country, in this city here. That's not right. It's against federal law to have a monopoly of any type of business.
But whoever pays attention to laws, they just write them. They don't care about them.
I know.
It's just something to do when you drink coffee. Make some laws. Hey, seems like it now. So we've got a lot of time left. Let me. I was going to have a call-in guest about this, and I've got a lot of things to talk about with this giving away the 5%. You're not through with your Twitter though?
Yes, I am through with my Twitter.
Are you?
Yes, I am through with my Twitter
Okay.
now.
Okay.
You want to switch places again?
If you like.
Hey, we can play musical chairs without
Well,
music playing.
You got some more articles you were going to look at. Still not
Yes.
sharing. Let's hear about that.
This is items I didn't get a chance to tweet, so I will be tweeting this in the next couple of days here.
Okay. Well, let's hear about it.
Okay, Sheriff Ross Mercarimi. Our beloved sheriff, ex-former supervisor Ross Mercarimi. He has issued a pilot program in San Francisco that does not cost any additional funds. It's the very first of its kind in the nation. It is called the Eviction Assessment Program.
Mm-hmm.
The Sheriff's Department, as everybody's aware of, when somebody is evicted from their property, the Sheriff's Department has to obey a court order. The court says, hey, escort these people off the property. Well, Sheriff Mercarimi got tired of saying, wait a minute, this is being a burden upon San Francisco society here. We're getting more people homeless on the streets. Let's look at these people who are getting evicted and see if we can actually hook them up with programs and fees so they can stay in a building or possibly move to a new location. This is a great, wonderful program that Sheriff, I was going to call him Supervisor, force of habit, Sheriff Mercarimi has implemented in San Francisco. And I hope this goes across the nation. This is so wonderful. Sorry, go ahead, Denise.
Yes, it should go. It should be across the nation. It should be a uniform policy.
There's also a program called the Five Keys Charter High School. It is a high school in the jail system itself. Many people are wondering, why is there school in the jails? Well, many people do not have a GED or high school diploma. The Sheriff's Department offers them a chance to, hey, if you're incarcerated, you're not just going to get locked up out of society. We're going to do something about this. Hey, how about a GED? How about a high school diploma?
They had that in Santa Rita when I was a kid. I got one, and I got my diploma in Santa Rita.
But the problem in the past is when they do their time, the time is up in county jail, they're considered a high school dropout, which means federal funding is affected in California. This is affected. Sheriff Mercarimi has decided, hey, let's continue this.
Because they were falling through the cracks.
Exactly. So, thanks to this program here, the jails are now 40% undercrowded. It is the most undercrowded per capita because people are allowed to continue their education. There's several different locations to go. John Adams Community College, other programs. They are released and they've done their time. They are continued. They're not considered dropouts anymore. They actually, hey, I did my time, okay, I know something's wrong, I'm doing better for my life, I'm continuing my education. This is a great program Sheriff McRae has implemented.
He cares, he does care about people.
Yes, he does.
There's people that want him out of there, and it makes it sad. So, he'll never, and so we were gonna, he was invited to be on this show. He was on Frank's show a while back, and he'll probably be back again.
Hopefully he does. He's a wonderful guest and a great Giant fan.
And also, we're still fighting net neutrality.
Yes.
And Comcast wants to merge with Time Warner and decide who gets faster internet. So, and America, we already have the slowest internet in the world. So, if it got any, can you imagine it getting any slower? I wouldn't want to. And Restore the Fourth wants to restrain the Department of Homeland Security nationwide. So that's a news flash. They want to just, and the Americans for Civil, well.
I personally believe that FEMA should be dismantled in itself and let NSA continue with the job. FEMA is one of the most manipulative government agencies besides NASA. I have to say that.
Yeah. Yeah, they are. I would tend to agree.
I mean, I hate the NASA organization, but I love what they've done. The politics and bureaucracy behind it is bull, but they have done some great, wonderful accomplishments.
Well, we want to. There's too much surveillance going on, but now that we've got this ISIS thing going, now it
ISIL.
seems like whatever they call it.
ISIL or
Yeah,
is as an Islamic State, but they're not a state.
Yeah, well, with this going on, it's going to probably justify in someone's eyes
Breaking news.
more surveillance.
Breaking news, in case anybody hasn't heard, the Senate and House has approved
Yes.
military training and arms for the
Syria.
Syrian rebels. The exact Syrians who chemically poisoned their own people.
So this is counterproductive. I mean, even 6 months ago, we wanted to destroy the people. Now we're arming them. So.
I'm on Senator McCain's side. Do not arm the people who chemically poison their own people.
Well, I have no opinion about that yet. I mean, I haven't. The news is happening as we speak, so it's a fluid situation. What I was saying about surveillance is, before we had this ISIL, the local level was the best approach to reigning surveillance. But now that we've got, because it looked like Congress was softening up to stopping, the surveillance, exposed by WikiLeaks, Chelsea Manning. That was
Edward Snowden.
Oh, well, that put us in more danger. Some of those leaks, I think. He was a leaker. The others were whistleblowers. But I mean, we could argue about that. And what he exposed did make some changes. I agree. And also, WikiLeaks founder
Julian Assange.
Julian Assange is going to leave the embassy soon. I heard.
Hopefully, his safety is 100% safe.
Yeah, his security is. I mean, what is he going to turn himself into Sweden? That's the thing. But see. The best approach to reigning surveillance was on the local level, but now that we've got the national level just interested in all this surveillance now, it's because of this ISIL thing. I think look at Australia. They were tapping phones, and that's how they caught them. That's a new story.
And speaking of surveillance, there's a community in the East Bay who signed a pilot program that if anything happens in their private cameras, that the police will automatically look at them. I actually agree with this because why would you hide something from a criminal activity around the area?
There are times
it's the only time the police can look at this like, hey, knock, 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 crime in the area, want to let you know, your camera here, when you look at it, you're on the list.
As long as the police themselves are under surveillance too.
Exactly, they will be under surveillance.
I think that the people who are doing the surveillance should be under surveillance. That's the only fair way of doing it in my mind. So we've only got 2 minutes left. Really? We managed to gab this long without even talking about. Oh dear.
I actually got
Have you got something else you need to talk about?
Yeah, I just got this today here. It's about Yes on G.
Oh yeah.
There is a Tenderloin window walk for housing and jobs going on. Get this, Tuesday, October 7th, at the Senator Hotel. That's 519 Ellis Street, Ellis and Leavenworth. 10 a.m. is the free breakfast, while supplies last, and we all mobilize at 10:45 a.m. So that's Tuesday, October 7th, next month, at the Senator Hotel, 519 Ellis Street. That's for the yes on G, yes on J.
Yes on J, and no on I.
And I also happen to got another mailing here about the no on E unfair beverage tax. The sugar tax.
How do you feel about that?
Since the court agrees with me that the language is very tricky and con artist manipulative style, it does not specify whether it's sugar, fake sugar, or real sugar. The law does not specify that, which means it's soda, tea, Kool-Aid drinks, juices.
It's a way of tax and adding
Frappuccinos.
unfair tax to all
Every
beverages.
drink that's not water should be included in this tax.
Everything's
It's unclear.
sweet. Everything's sweet.
Even diet soda is included
Or
in
what
the
if
sugar
there's
tax.
honey in it? What
That's
if they
a
use
sugar.
honey, stevia, there's other sweeteners just besides
That's a sugar.
And sugar tastes better than high fructose. I remember in the 80s they were talking about how great fructose was for you. High fructose was the best.
No, the recent study is, comes out that artificial sweeteners lead to cancer.
Well, they haven't fixed the getting the high fructose.
And
out of
high
our
blood
drinks
sugar. Sorry, I apologize, not cancer, but high blood sugar. And we have 30 seconds left.
yet.
Denise.
Please adopt a shelter pet. They're waiting for you. You can go to the shelterpetproject.org to pick out your new best friend. They're waiting for you right now. A dog or a cat, even birds, turtles,
Look them up,
rabbits.
SPCA.
Yes, and the shelterpetproject.org.